All right. Thank you so much for joining me today here on the Red Pill Investor Podcast. My name's Carl Krenzel, your host here today, here to help you with your sales skills. Here to help you make more money in less time with less hassle. I mean, let's just face it does not matter what your position is in the real estate investment game. If you're a real estate investor, been investing for years, or if you're a realtor who's just looking to invest, or maybe a wholesaler and you're not licensed. Maybe you're just somebody out there getting into the real estate game. Well, no matter where you're from, welcome and thank you for meeting me here on the Red Pill Investor Podcast. I would highly encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you like YouTube, I would highly encourage you to visit my channel at Sell More Homes Now. It's all one word, Sell More Homes Now on YouTube, where you'll find all kinds of videos of me actually prospecting or other videos of sales skills, different things that you can learn to help you build your sales skills. And why is this? Well, ultimately, it's my belief that sales opportunities, real ones, right? I mean, with a real seller, with a real person who's looking like they're really motivated, right? Those opportunities are so few and far between when you're starting out that it's difficult for you, right? I mean, when you think about it, if you're brand new and you're generating a lot of leads, well, you'll start to set appointments and get callbacks and you're starting to talk to people, but then, something happens. Maybe you say the wrong thing, you flub up, you say something you shouldn't have said, and for whatever reason, that deal is toast, right? And you worked so hard to get that deal, and now, because of really you're inexperienced, well, you lost the deal. Well, the purpose of this podcast is to help you get through that icky period, right? To help you learn through real life sales situations and what we're going through, how I'm saying things and what they're responding, so you can learn exactly what you need to say in every sales situation. Now, it's true, right? I am me, you're you. You're going to say your words and I'm going to say my words, but I think you can agree with me that the responses that we're going to hear from the sellers many times are the same responses you're hearing where you are, right? If the responses from the sellers are the same, well, then our responses to them can be the same as well. Yes, I mean, if I'm in Arizona and you're wherever you are, and the seller says, hey, I want more money for my property, well, gosh, what I say is going to be probably effective for you too. And that's the purpose of this podcast, is to help go through some of these things so that we can learn together. Plus, so I can stay, consistent in my prospecting, so we can go ahead and learn together the things that need to be said. So today is absolutely no exception. What we're going to talk about now, if you've been watching and Sell More Homes Now on YouTube, you'll quickly see how I've been prospecting, going through the news, making a couple hour long prospecting session, and then turning around and making it available on the podcast. And that's all fine and good, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've tried to listen to some of those myself, and it can get kind of boring. I mean, the same thing, wrong numbers or leaving messages and going through the news sometimes can be a little tedious, especially when you get interrupted a lot. So what I've done in this particular podcast, I've made it a little different. I've gone ahead and I spent the whole weekend. Obviously over the July 4th weekend, I took a break, of course. I mean, I had family and lunch with my friends and all that. But, when it came to Saturday, Sunday, I was definitely calling people and trying to get in touch with people to make appointments. And that included through this morning. And what I did is I just made a recording of all the appointments or all the different calls I felt that you would find value in. And today we've got 5 separate calls that I've recorded that I'm going to share with you. One of them, 2 of them are a couple. One of them is some vacant land needing some comparables. Another one is a house needing some comparables. Another one is a vacant home with a really messy breakup. Another one is an inheritance sale that I found. And then finally, the last call is one why a home won't sell. And this one you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for. And throughout this series, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I felt while I was giving this call. And then I'd encourage you to go ahead and leave me your comments as well. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your opinion as to what you think I could have done differently or what you think these people result in. Now, just as a quick aside, the vacant land fellow that needed comps contacted me back, and he's ready to go ahead and list his property. So looks like we're going to go ahead and have that listing today here as well. So that's always good news. But I will go ahead and for now, let's go ahead and go into the very first call I wanted to share with you. This was a vacant land call that I had made. I was calling through a neighborhood. We was doing just a just sold type call. If you're a real estate agent or an investor, you'll definitely want to consider using something, an auto dialer like I do, like TheRedX. You'll find in the description down there, you'll find a link that you can save $149 on your setup fee through that link, a little agreement that I've worked with them. So listeners to the podcast or on Sell More Homes Now can save $1 or $2 when they're trying to get their system set up. And what I was doing was using the TheRedX Storm Dialer and their GeoLeads system to call really the top 100 homes around a home that had just recently sold. And I made sure that these particular properties had been owned for more than 5 years. Now, keep in mind, I was calling looking for homes in here. And it turns out that I had called this fellow, and he had some vacant land. Now, he swears that I had called him before. I don't recall calling him before. It doesn't look like I called him before, but I just play along with it. And that's many times what I think you can learn from this situation too. If you're prospecting, sometimes people will say things to you that are crazy or off whack or off kilter, and maybe it's not necessarily true sometimes. Just go with it sometimes. It's better than trying to correct them and then patch it up. So I'm going to let you listen on this particular one, and then tell me what you think, and I'll join you in just a minute. Thanks.
Hello?
Hello, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Who are you?
My name's Carl Krenzel. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Well, I'm actually better than
and maybe I should say, who are you then?
Yeah, no problem. I don't think that you know me. I might actually owe you an apology in advance. So let me apologize. Are you the fellow who happens to own that property over there?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, listen, again, my name's Carl Krenzel. I'm a broker here in town who buys property. There was a property that recently sold not far from yours over there on J, and I ultimately missed out on that one. And I was actually just calling to see if perhaps you knew of anybody in the neighborhood who'd be open to an offer on an unwanted home. Do you happen to know of anybody here, sir?
No. But did you already call me once?
I may have. Was this on a different number? You know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and delete the number because it looks like, oh yeah, you've got that property in Cuyahoga Verde. Yeah. Well, I may have called, and if I did, then I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and I'll delete your number here right now. Oh, it's a lot. Okay. All right, gosh.
So you're welcome to sell it if you can.
How much are you wanting to get for it?
Well, I don't know. The tax says the value is $125,000. We'd probably like to interchange something around somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, what I could do, if you'd like, as I mentioned, I'm a broker here in town. If you'd like, I could, kind of run a few numbers on it, see what a buyer might pay for something like that today, and email you the response. Would something like that help you?
Yeah, I think you told me that last time too, and you didn't call me back. Yeah.
That's odd. All right.
Sounds like a repeat of our first phone call we had.
Okay, well, because I'm checking my notes here, and I don't see anything like that. So, all right, well, let me
check it out.
Let me run comparable, and where would you like me to email that to, sir?
At AOL.com. George.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Okay. So it's
at AOL.com.
October is correct at AOL.com?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. Let me go ahead and run that, and then I'll get that back to you within the next 2 days.
Okay.
I apologize.
And if you sell it and you want to drop off the check to me, call me first. Make sure I'm home.
Oh, indeed, sir. Indeed.
Okay.
Well, let me go ahead and I'll email this to you as soon as I can. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
believe it or not, kind of crazy, we got an email from that fellow saying that he was ready to list that property. And so it's going to be going on the market here soon. So that's amazing. That's just another powerful testimony of the kind of prospecting that you can do at large and leave messages with the RedX prospecting system. And I'll tell you, I've been enjoying it immensely. You know, I'm going to go ahead and take a minute before we get into our second call. I'm going to share with you, if you're not already familiar, if you're a realtor who invests, you may not be aware of this, but I did go ahead and write a book here recently, a brand new book called Real Estate Investing for Realtors. As you know, this is infinitely different. For a realtor who wholesales or invests, our rules are different, the things we have to do are different, and I wrote a book about this, and it has over 115 pages devoted to this. It's an ebook that you can buy directly from my website at TheRedPillInvestor.com. I'm going to take just a quick minute to read a little chapter about it. It's the second chapter out of the book called Ethical Lead Generation. Basically, I have over 26 methods that you can use as a realtor to generate leads. It's not just calling. It's not just web pages. There's a lot of other things you can do to generate leads. But before you do that, you have to understand the basics of lead generation. Let me read this quick chapter to you. It says, so I'm not sure where you are in your real estate knowledge, so if you'll forgive me for a moment if I'm preaching to the choir. I think it's important we start at the beginning, understanding what type of business you're trying to get. The reason why is so that you'll have laser-like focus on the customers and the types you want. And I hope this makes sense. In my first book, The Red Pill Sales System, I outlined a systematic way for a wholesaler to get their first transaction quickly. To get leads coming to you quickly, you must learn what types of business there are. Now, in my mind, there's two types of business. You have now business and later business when it comes to renting and wholesaling real estate. Now, some people are ready to sign a contract and sell their property now. And other people are looking for information and trying to determine their options. I call them later business. Now, I hate to sound simplistic, but it really is that simple. Real estate itself is a simple business. It's just not that easy. Now, I will admit that many people believe that you can take a person who has low motivation and follow up with them for a very long time, and eventually they'll become motivated. I just don't think it's profitable to do that as a business plan. It seems more profitable to me to find the people who need your services now and spend less time on people who are later business. For the realtor who invests, you instinctively know the value of follow-up in regular residential real estate. In wholesale real estate, spend the majority of your follow-up time on the people who are actively looking to sell now. Again, I'm not discounting the importance of follow-up. It's the backbone of our sales business. However, you must also recognize the transactional nature of this business and the wholesale game. People with pressing needs do not wait for months on end to sell. Thus, it's important for you to make sure you spend your time with only the highest quality lead so as to not miss it by wasting time on an unmotivated, unprepared prospect. That's the first chapter of the book. It goes, next chapter is 26 powerful lead sources. I would highly encourage you to go ahead and check out my website at TheRedPillInvestor.com. For your copy of this powerful book. It's only $25. It helps support the podcast as well as the YouTube channel and all the things that we're doing there. You can get that link just by simply purchasing it right there directly. Now, before we jump into this second conversation, I'm going to remind you that when you're prospecting, what you'll definitely want to do is ensure that you double check and make sure that there's no other possibility for business. Right? Just because somebody tells you no, they're not interested, or no, they're not thinking of selling their property, does not mean that they don't have other property or know of somebody else who is. So make it a really good practice of yours to go ahead and say, gosh, do you know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash? I make that a habit. And in this particular clip that I'm about to share with you, you're going to see exactly why that's so critical that you'll do that. Follow in, listen in, and tell me what you think.
Hi, this is John.
Hey, this is Carl Krenzel. How you doing, John?
Fine. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. I'm not sure if I've got the right person, so I apologize in advance. Are you the fellow who happens to own that property over there on Schaefer Street?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, good deal. Well,
Not
listen,
the one
again, my name...
not the one that's for sale, but I live
no,
there.
no problem. It was 19... Schaefer Street was the one I was calling about in specific. Well, the reason why I was calling, I'm a broker over here in town who buys property, and there was a property just a couple streets down the way from you at 4547 J Avenue. It sold like in a day. It was a 1,296 square foot place, needed some work, sold for $150,000. So I'm just calling around to see if maybe you or anybody you know in that neighborhood would still be open to an all-cash offer closing quickly on an unwanted property. Do you know of anybody other than that one that's currently listed for sale?
No, there's a guy across the street that he tried to sell it. Now it's for rent. You might try that one. But I think it's on Bernie. Yeah, I think it has a Bernie address.
Okay, no
but
problem.
I'm
I'll
not.
check.
No, I mean, mine's just paid for. And
oh, well, hallelujah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a good day right there.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. All right. Well, listen, since I got you here anyway, do you know of anybody else here in town who might be open to an all-cash offer anywhere else?
No, off the top of the head. But I'll keep your number because I own another house too. I might check on that.
Have you had somebody recently take a look at it, kind of give you an idea what it might sell for in the open market?
No, not yet. I was going to have a real estate agent do that. I just haven't had time.
Well, if you'd like, I mean, I'm a broker here in town. I'm, as I mentioned, I'm with Sotheby's International. I could certainly take a look at it and give you some comparables.
It's
I
you got
can
something
certainly
right
do that.
now?
Let me get into my spot here where I can take some notes. And what I'll do is, if you'd like, I'll go ahead and I'll run some comparables on it, and I can get back with you and let you know what I found out. Is that okay?
That's absolutely okay.
All right. What's the address of the property?
1622 Fort Lowell.
Okay. All right. And is it? I mean, I can look all the stuff up in the tax records, but I mean, how many bedrooms, baths? I mean, that sort of thing.
It's 2 and 2. I don't know the square footage. It's a big double wide.
Okay.
I mean, you can make it has like a office den and a formal dining room that, one of them could be a bedroom if someone wanted to do that.
Okay. Is it a manufactured home or? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it attached? Is it attached to the land or is it in a lot?
Yeah. When I bought it, it was attached. I own the land too.
Oh, okay, great.
So it was one package. Yeah, it was one package. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good deal. I can certainly look that up for you. And where would you like me to email the results of that search to?
Washington,
Yahoo.com. Okay, great. Well, let me give me a couple days to do some research here, and then I can send that back to you. That's no problem at all. Okay.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Well, listen, you have a great 4th of July. Make sure you stay out of this heat today. Okay.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Yes, sir. Take care. Bye-bye.
There's just something about marriage. We all love it. We all hate it. There's just something about it. When you think about it, in America today, over half the marriages end up in divorce. And our next couple is no different. Unfortunately, they are just like everybody else who've tried to go out and find the person of their dreams only to end up in a nightmare situation where there's a house involved. The reality is this happens every single day in America, in your town and in mine. And people like the two that I'm about to introduce you to, John and Julie, are people who need an Isle of Peace, right? An Isle of Peace in a storm of emotion. Listen as I go ahead and I set an appointment with this fellow here off a cold call. And again, this is after cold calling. I've set up the TheRedX dialer and the Storm dialer, the GeoLead system, to look around this particular area around a home on Kai Aurora that ended up selling in a very quick period of time, looking for other homes. So my approach is like a just sold approach. Watch how this turns very quickly into an appointment. And why I wanted you to listen to this is so that you as a wholesaler, you as a realtor, you as an investor or an investing realtor can see just how quickly things can change in a call. Listen in and tell me what you think.
This is Tom.
Hello. Oh, hi, Tom. Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Who is this?
Oh, no problem. My name's Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Fantastic.
I might actually have the wrong number, so it's no worries. Do you happen to know anything about a property at 6165 East 32nd Street? Do you know anything about that?
Possibly.
Okay, no problem. Well, there's no fear. First, again, my name is Carl Krenzel.
What is your name?
I'm just a real estate. Yeah, no problem. Again, my name's Carl Krenzel. I'm a real estate broker here in town who buys property. The reason why I was calling to see if maybe you or Julie had ever considered selling that property. Have you?
Is there a number I can give you a call back?
Yeah, no problem. Is that your cell phone right there?
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So you're right there on your cell phone. That's my caller ID. That's my cell phone. And what I'll do is I'll text you my card right there so you can look me up if you like on Google, and then give me a call back when you get a chance. Because I'd certainly be interested in talking to you about your place on 32nd. Okay?
Okay, and who is it you work for?
Well, I work with Sotheby's International Realty. That's where my license is hung. But I buy property on my own.
Okay.
So I'm not
And
representing
you're local
anybody.
to Tucson?
Yeah, I'm local right here in Tucson. Actually, believe it or not, went to Santa Rita High School and Carson Middle School. I'm from the southeast side, my brother. I know the whole area. So, all right, well, no big deal. Let me go ahead and I'm going to text you right now from my cell phone. And again, that's that same cell phone right there that's on your caller ID. I'm going to text you, and that way you'll have my number handy. And then, as I mentioned, feel free to Google me. I've been in here in town for probably 23 years now. And talk it over with Julie. If you have any interest in selling that property on Fifth Street, I'd love to talk with you about it. Okay?
What's it take to get you to look at it or to make an offer?
Oh, just it'd just basically be kind of a come on over and tell me, hey Carl, let's take a look at it. When would be a good time for me to why don't you come on over and take a quick peek at it? I mean, it's 10-15 minutes. It won't cost you anything, and obviously it's no obligation. It's just for me to come over and take a quick look at it. And if you guys are interested in selling it, then great, and maybe we can figure something out. And if not, well, that's okay too. I mean, it's entirely up to you. I just texted you a little Prezi presentation. It's probably right there on your cell phone, and it looks like you got an iPhone. So you'll be able to go right there on that link, and that'll tell you exactly how the process works, who I work for, my phone number. I pay all the closing costs. I take the property exactly the way it is. We close on the day you want to. So it's super simple.
Okay. And then how did you get my number?
Yeah, no problem. So I've got a service that looks up all the numbers of all the homeowners in that area. So believe it or not, really for the last 2 days, there's about 800 people in that neighborhood, in that little area right there, that have owned property for more than 5 years. And I've done a lot of research. I've researched all y'all's phone numbers, and I've been calling you every one of them for the last 2 days, seeing if anybody's interested in selling, because there was a property, believe it, you might have even seen it. If you were driving in the neighborhood, there was a property over there at 5852 Kai Aurora. That was a little place that they had rehabbed, put it on the market, and unbelievably, it needed a lot of work, but I mean, they fixed it all up. They put it on the market at like 205, and I thought, that's a lot of money for that neighborhood. I mean, I'm from the area, I know. But believe it or not, they got $195 for that place in 2 weeks. So, I'm calling around all the neighbors because, I mean, if you're considering just a quick sale, you don't want to be, fooling with the property, then, maybe you and I can talk and I'd certainly be interested in buying it. Or if you've got a situation where, you don't need to sell it right away, but you're certainly looking to try and get the more money for it, well, I work with Sotheby's International. I can give you an idea of what a buyer would be willing to pay for your property. And that way, you and Julie could figure out whatever you think is best for you. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, I can pencil something down, come take a look at your property. I can come out, on them tomorrow or the next day if you want. Would that work for you? You want me to come on out tomorrow and take a look at it?
Well, it's, the property's in the middle of the property, me and Julie bought the property jointly.
Okay.
It's in the middle of a court issue, and she thinks it's worth 10 times more than it really is and wants me to buy her out.
I understand.
But I'm to the point where I'm about to throw up my hands and just sell it for whatever somebody's willing to take for it.
Sure.
But I don't know where that, when you make an offer, is it a legitimate offer? Is it, something that's written on paper, or is it?
Right, yeah. No, that's a good question. Yeah, no, it would be actually on an Arizona state contract that you could take to any attorney here in town. They'd say, oh yeah, okay, they'd be able to read it. They know exactly what it is. And that's actually one of the good things about working with somebody like me, is the fact that as a licensed real estate broker in the state of Arizona, I have to operate by a certain set of rules. And one of those rules is that I have to give you, a written contract on a state, contract so that you can, take it to the attorneys and get any questions you might answer instead of something written up on a one-page thing somebody downloaded from the internet or something. So, and I'm curious, and I'm not trying to pry into your business, so don't misunderstand. I've been divorced myself twice, and it's a mess. I know how it is. Are you guys married together, and now so y'all are splitting up, and that's sort of where it's at right now? When you said the court, I wasn't.
Yeah, that happened about 5 years ago, and I've been stuck making the mortgage payment on the house, and she keeps.
Oh my gosh.
She's gone in and she's damaged it, and make a long story short, I've been dumping money in it, on mortgage payments and insurance, and trying to, keep people out of it and replace some locks on it for the past 5 years, but she's not put a penny into it. So at this point, it's costing me.
Is the property in? Oh my gosh, is the property in your name, or is it in her name, or is it in joint?
It's in both of our names.
Okay, and is there a mortgage on the property?
There is.
Okay, and is the mortgage in your name, her name, or both of y'all's?
Both.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I can certainly see how this is a little bit of a challenge. Is she living in it, or y'all got a tenant in there?
Neither. She was living in it for a while. There was a court order saying that she was supposed to be paying me rent. And make a long story short, she moved out, and now the house has been empty for, 2.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
She lived in there for 2.5 years where she was supposed to be paying me. She wasn't. I sent her a demand letter. She moved out. Now it's been another 2.5 years. The past 6 months, I got a housekeeper in there that's pretty much just overlooking it because it's not livable condition the way it is right now.
Well, what I could do, if you'd like, Tom, I mean, it's certainly no problem to me. I mean, this is my job. This is what I do. I mean, what I can do, if you'd like, I don't mind. Why don't I find a time, like I said, tomorrow? I can stop by, take a quick look at the property. Tomorrow, the next day, or whenever you think, somebody could come in there and let me in. And, then, we can kind of figure out, what might be a good approach, to getting rid of this problem for you. Because, I mean, that's certainly not tenable. I mean, $1,000 a month. I mean, how long are you going to keep that up before you just say, to heck with it? So that's no good. When would be a good time? Would tomorrow afternoon be good, or would Wednesday be better?
No, tomorrow afternoon would work.
How about, you want to get together around 3, or you want to try and get it a little bit later after like 5, or would earlier be better?
Doesn't matter. Either one. You tell me.
Trying to make it easy. Yeah, I was just trying to make it easy for your schedule. How about we get together around 3? Would 3 work?
Yeah.
Okay, you just want to meet together at the property and at 3 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay, great.
That'll
Yeah,
work.
well then I'll go ahead and I'll just pencil it down and meet you at the property at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And again, my name's Carl, and you've got my information right there. I texted it to you, so you'll have it handy there. And if something should come up, feel free to give me a call, and we can figure out a better time. But otherwise, I'll just look forward to seeing you at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't even worry about it. We'll figure something out. I mean, this is not good for you. We'll figure something out. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah,
Talk
bye.
to you soon. Bye-bye.
In this next track, what you're going to hear is a continuation of that same calling session, calling around a sold property on Kai Aurora. Now, this particular property, as I mentioned, had sold very quickly, and I'd called a lot of people in that subdivision over the last couple of days. Now, what you're going to hear is Providence. I'm often telling you that you have to be consistent in your prospecting because you never know when that opportunity is going to present itself. Here's exactly what I mean. When you listen to this particular podcast, this particular session, you're going to hear how Providence has stepped in, how God has stepped in and is going to make this happen. Listen to this.
Hello?
Hi, this is Carl. How are you today?
Good.
I might have the wrong number, so please forgive me in advance. I recognize that I'm calling a 972 area code, but I'm calling actually about a house in Tucson, Arizona at 6231 33rd Street owned by the Stone Hills. Does that ring a bell? Is that y'all's property?
Yeah, you're talking about my wife's property.
Oh, okay. All right. Good deal. Well, listen,
Yeah.
the reason why I'm calling, my name's Carl again. I'm a broker here in town who buys property. I was actually just reaching out to you folks to see if you folks had ever considered selling that property. Have you?
Well, in fact, she is contemplating that as we speak.
I would not be
I can
surprised.
take your number and call you back.
Yeah. Yeah, please. Yeah. Is this your cell phone right here?
Yeah, this is my cell.
Well, what I can do,
I'll
I can actually do you one. I can do you one better. It's right there on your caller ID is my cell phone. That's actually my cell phone personally. She can reach out to me there. And then what I'm going to do also is I'm just going to send you a real quick link that you can go ahead and just do some quick research on me there. You'll have my name and number handy. There you go. Boom. It's coming right at you right now. But essentially, the reason why I'm calling you is because there was a property that sold just a couple streets up from hers on Kai Aurora. And believe it or not, this place was just a little bit bigger than y'all's. It was 1,509 square feet, and I guess y'all's was 1,352. But in any event, they rehabbed their entire place, put it on the market at 205, and ultimately sold it in 2 weeks for 195, if you can believe it. I mean, it was a great price. And so obviously they're super happy. But there's people, kind of crying in their beer because they want to live in the area, and there's really not a lot for sale. So I just thought I would reach out, and I've called pretty much everybody really in that whole subdivision who's owned property for more than 5 years to see if maybe they're open to a quick kind of easy sale. So, if you wouldn't mind, just reach out and let her know, and then, let's chat, because I'd like to take a look at that place and see what maybe is possible.
Yeah. Well, we her mom passed away last December, and
oh my gosh.
So now she lives with us here in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Is that where I'm calling it?
That's been a rental property. Yeah.
Is 972 Dallas? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now I know. Okay. All right. I didn't know that.
So
all right.
So anyway, in fact, we were just talking about that Saturday. What she wants to do with that. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'll let her know, and that was one of the things. See if she could find somebody to buy it, or if we wanted to fix it up ourselves and then try to sell it.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely love to talk with you all about it. And feel free to Google me. I mean, I've been here in town for 23 years. This is what I do. So, and working with folks like this in this situation is exactly what we do. I mean, you can leave the property exactly the way it is. You don't have to do anything to it. You don't even have to take anything but the things you want out. Like on an estate sale, a lot of times it's very difficult for the family to kind of go through the belongings and whatnot. And so what a lot of times I tell people to do, my mom passed away 3 years ago, and it was just devastating. So I understand. Just, take the things you want and, leave the rest and we'll take care of it. So we just try to make it easy. Okay.
Well
gosh, listen, I
appreciate you. Carl.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. I'm sorry, I never did catch your name.
Well, Reggie.
Reggie. All right, Reggie. Well, listen, Reggie, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
Well, thanks
and
for
again,
calling
I'm very
back,
sorry to hear.
I did, I try not to answer my phone to numbers I don't know because I get so many calls. So
I believe it.
Glad you called back.
Well, I'm sort of the fellow that believes the Lord works in ways, and I just believe that God brings us to each other for one reason or another, and I just trust Him. I just let Him deal with it. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you. All right, Reggie. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. I'm so sorry for your loss, but I'll look forward to talking to you all soon. Okay?
Thank you. Take care.
Yes, sir. You'll have a wonderful day. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
In this final track, you're going to hear me having a little bit of fun. What you're going to hear is a person saying some very specific reasons and very specific requests about the next real estate agent they're going to list with. Listen, just listen to the arrogance of these sellers as they describe to me what they're going to do to get their property sold. Keep in mind, their home has been on the market with 2 other realtors and has not sold in well over 9 months. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing out on anything. But tell me, why do you think this home hasn't sold?
Hello? Hello? Oh, hi. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I was looking for the Burlington residents who are on Campbell Avenue. Have I got the right place?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Are you the owner? Is this David?
No, this is.
So I know. Okay.
I'm the son who lives there currently.
Oh, gotcha. All right, no worries. Well, do you happen to know offhand, are they planning on still selling that place, or do you know?
I think we're just going to take it off the market again temporarily, and then potentially consider putting it back on. But the only thing is the last realtor we had, we have very specific things. We don't want any signs put up by our house. We don't allow people we don't do open houses sort of thing. It has to be someone who's qualified with the money to buy the house to come visit it if they're interested. And then our last realtor also took 4%, so if we were going to ever list it again, we'd want that to be beat.
Well, I guess you guys are going to enjoy owning that home for a while then. All right,
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, as you can see, it seems like they're going to have that home for a little while. But listen, that's the whole reason why you want to prospect every day. You prospect every day so you can be consistent, so you can find those hidden fruits all around. Remember, these appointments that I set today were all from cold calls. Why do you want to consider this? Well, here's why this is important. Because if you're in a marketplace that's rapidly expanding, there may not be a lot of expireds for you to call. There may not be any cancels for you to call. If you're in a marketplace that's rapidly expanding, maybe you're in a market where for sale by owners are selling quickly with multiple offers, well, then you have to learn how to contact people and how to set appointments that are not already listed, have not already been listed, and are not already thinking about maybe selling as an owner for sale by owner. You want to get them early in that cycle. And how do you get them early in that cycle? By calling. I know it's not something that's sexy and it's certainly not fun, but you can learn to enjoy it. You can actually learn to be good at it. And the RedX system is one of those things that you'll definitely want to use as a tool in your toolkit to go ahead and do that and get it done. Guys, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and, again, subscribe, like, and rate the Red Pill Investor there on the podcast, as well as Sell More Homes Now on YouTube. And until next time, I hope you have a powerful sales day. Bye-bye.